What's going on, y'all? I'm DJ.
And I'm D.
This video is gonna be about
How we met.
met.
We went to high school. We went to the same high school, but he was about 2 grades higher than I was.
Yes.
And we took an art class together. Outside of that 1 year, I would see him around high school, but I never. And then I would also see him outside high school because during summer, my grandpa would put me in programs like what was it, 3D editing and stuff.
Yeah, it was 3D editing for the community college.
For the community college. So I would see him around, and one day him and my grandpa actually had this one instance where they had like a small conversation. Little did I know that he would even end up being my husband, and we would even end up being together at all.
Pretty much.
You know, it was weird. So we took that one class together. I think I was in my sophomore year. One day, and this is when I moved all the way to Italy, I seen his face pop up on Facebook because this was the first time I could have my Facebook. I was like 16, 17. My parents were like, sure. By the time I met him, I was 17.
Yeah.
And I seen his face pop up on my Facebook, and I added him. So I'm like, I'm just gonna add this guy because I seen him around high school, so might as well just add him.
Funny thing, when she added me, I was literally at work. I was working at a retail clothing store at the time. I won't say the actual name, but yeah, I was on break, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna look at this when I get home, and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna just accept you.
He friended me, and then I would always see his stories, and his stories weren't always the best. And I would always respond like, "Hey,
My old
are
snap.
you sad? I can help you," or you know, I don't know. I would respond and like, "Hey, I know that you probably feel this way. What are you doing?" Because he would always be doing something, and this wasn't Snap stories. This was Facebook stories.
Oh yeah, I
One
forgot
day he
Messenger
posted
had
something
story.
really bad that I just had to reach out, and I forgot what I said. But I was like, this is my opportunity, you know. I'm going through it, and clearly he's going through it, so I might as well just reach out. From there, we started talking.
A lot of emotions, y'all. A lot of emotion unpacking. I was in a really bad place at the time. I was also somewhat in a old relationship that I just was not happy in. I was being mistreated. And then when she reached out and we started talking, eventually over time, I started to feel a little better, and I started to learn that, you know what, I don't have to keep enduring this. And through that process, she was actually there at the end when like I decided to like really full on just get away from that, and she helped me really like through that. In a way, I guess you could say she saved my life, really. She also really helped really bring God into the conversation, because without the Lord, you can't really fully heal if you don't really come to Him. Not to mention, I was in a lot of other things. Oh, that's where the camera is? Okay. I was involved in a lot of things of the enemy that were not holy, that really just, I would post about it a lot, and looking back, so dumb.
They were very concerning.
Yes, like a lot of things that probably you can't mention on YouTube. But like, she helped me through the process, and eventually that led to, well, we talked about the idea of, hey, what if we, dated? And at first I was nervous because I'm like, I had legal issues going on at the time.
He wasn't too honest about that.
I was not.
He was honest enough, but he wasn't too honest
I
about
didn't really
it. He
give her...
still does that, but it's all good.
I've gotten better. But basically, I had really bad legal issues going on at the time. You see, I always thought that she was interesting, but I never made a move because I was always in my own stuff and going for the wrong people in the wrong crowd and everything.
I wasn't the right person back then either. So but one day, Dorian did send me like a box of like flowers from the Dollar Tree.
I sent her a box of flowers, but the flowers were specifically her favorite colors. I just decided to break them apart and mix them. I even sent her a card, and it even had a letter.
What was it for? For me to be your girlfriend, right?
Actually, no, that was for your birthday. Her dad thought it was corny.
Yeah, I mean, my dad used to do the same stuff. Shout out to my dad. So, like, yeah, it's not like that, but I wrote a whole letter of a whole notebook full of letters.
I still have
him,
it,
and I sent it to him. I got him a blanket with our pictures on it, and whatever else I got. But like, we did long distance for about a couple years, and then one day my dad was like, "Get rid of this fool," and he decided to have me meet somebody else. That kind of broke up our relationship temporarily, and then Dorian came back into the picture, and then that broke up that relationship that lasted for like 2 to 3 weeks because he did something really bad that made me upset. And I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore because there were so many instances where
there were a lot of incidents going on in my
overlooked.
Life. Yeah,
because I don't know. The way that I am is I will overlook situations unless it happens over and over and over, and then I'm like, alrighty. All right.
Yeah. I had a lot of, like I said,
there were cat fights behind the trash cans. And
that was different.
Anyway, but that situation broke us up. So I ended up going to prom with that guy, and I would share photos, but I don't. So I came back from Italy, fast forward. This was about a couple months after that situation.
Yes.
And I met Dorian in person. Like, I actually spoke to him in person when I came from Italy. And it felt like natural, but I was nervous because I was like, what the heck?
Too.
This is the guy who's been causing me all this trouble. And he wrote in my mom's car, and I remember my mom, like, just being like, I didn't come here for this, basically, you know? Because, yeah, she didn't come there for that, basically. Fast forward, I'm going back to Italy because we did have some time apart. A lot more things happened because on his end, he was just, like, one of those little stray cats. But
stray cat. That's like what you call
cat. But
basically, I was doing a lot of partying and all that illegal stuff.
I graduated from Italy, and I think we may have broken up for a while. That's when the white guy came in, or that's when the guy came in. My guys. That's when the guy came in. I came back, and after me and him split, I was like, "Hey, I'm back in the USA. Would you like to play today?"
Oh my gosh, that is so cringe.
Party in the USA.
Oh no.
So, again, this is before Christ. This is definitely before Christ, because now, 8 years later, we're in a much different spot, but it could be better as always.
Yeah, of course. But nothing's ever perfect.
Yeah. So I came back, and this is when I had my encounter with alcohol and my first encounter with sexual activity. And he also, before then, he did ask me to marry him, and we were engaged. And the only reason why I was open to just getting rid of my virginity is because what I was told is as soon as you have a ring, then it's okay. Which I found out years later was a lie. Reading the word and having a relationship with God, that I should have waited till marriage, which would have been better, because after that it led me in a loophole of just like wanting to drink, but not becoming an alcoholic, but just drinking and sexual activity with him. So
wait till if the ring isn't on your finger, don't do it, ladies.
Don't do it. At least wait.
Yeah, please wait. And if he isn't gonna do it, just don't waste your time.
And this is literally in a month, I got pregnant.
Yeah.
In a month, I got pregnant. And we found out around my birthday that it was a molar pregnancy. So it was like partial tissue that turned into a mass that was like acute cancer with me. And it was crazy because I wasn't going to seek anything. He was in his 20s and I was 18 by that time, and I'm like, crap. My mom happened to come down from Italy on time to tell me to go get checked at a hospital because, again, when I found out I was pregnant, I was like, oh, I'm pregnant, everything should be fine. I mean, all I'm gonna have to worry about is my family. But no, it turned out I had to worry about my health. So I had to get a DNC to remove those tissues, and they're like, okay, so there wasn't anything there, but it was a whole bunch of tissues, and we're gonna have to keep up with your blood levels and stuff like that to make sure, you know, basically everything goes down. Because my HCG levels, for you guys who don't know, it's a pregnancy hormone, and it went all the way up. So I had acute cancer. Luckily, I didn't lose my hair though. So after that, I went to the deliverance center, and he still wasn't in his right mind even after that. Like,
yeah, I was concerned, but
you were still drinking.
I was still drinking.
Staying out late,
all of that. Coming home late or coming home in the morning, just not in my right mind. I was just outside because I didn't know how to feel. I felt guilty, and the way to suppress the guilt I thought was, let me just drink my sorrows away, smoke my sorrows away, and I did a lot of things that even now to this day I look back on and I'm like, I was a fool.
I mean, okay, even after that deliverance, I was like, let me see what's up. So we moved out to my cousin's after that, maybe 3 months after.
Oh yeah.
Or the year after that, because actually from that pregnancy was kind of the downfall of a relationship on top of what was going on with him, and just I wasn't feeling as happy anymore, so I had to remove myself because
she basically was like, we need to move, or we just need to break this off.
So we moved.
Yes.
But like, it didn't make me any more happier because I was like, you know, I feel like, because I had conviction in me at the same time, and at the same time I'm like, but I love this person, but like, this is just wrong to live with him out of sin, and I want to be married to this person, and should I leave? And you know, my family was like, not religious, but my one of my parents has a strong relationship with Christ, and so it's always be like, are you sure this is right? Are you sure? And it got me really thinking, am I sure? Because he came home late at night once again, and I was like, you know what? I think it's time. And so we were actually just up the street, so I was able to move back down to my mom's house, and we basically ended it.
Yeah, and there were moments in between where we would see each other here or there, but it got to a point where everything just ended, and eventually, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I basically just disappeared off the face of the earth for a while. I stopped paying my phone bill for a while. I lost my car. I stopped paying certain bills like my car insurance. My registration expired. I lost my health insurance for a while. Basically everything that you would need to keep going as a person in society, I basically just stopped caring about. And eventually that led to me moving to a different city.
Wait, but that's far, Ed.
Yeah, I know.
Because I ended up getting with somebody else maybe months after, and I moved to LA. This was before he moved anywhere. This was after the breakup. So I got with somebody else.
After we broke up, I literally immediately left.
I was in that relationship for about 5 months, and that it resulted in me in having my first son. A lot of narcissism, or a lot of gaslighting and manipulation tried to trap me, but I didn't get trapped because God honestly set me free. And so I ended up moving back to my mom's. But his mom would reach out to me from time to time, being like, "Where's Dorian? Do you know where he is?" I'm like, "Why would I even know where he is? Because I don't want to talk to him because I'm mad at him still. I still be mad at him.
Yes, she
Even
did.
though I would try and like either fill the void with somebody else or just move on. Like I would just still be mad at him.
My mom and a few of my family members were sharing signs around social media being like, my son is missing, do you know where he is? And one day I actually did see a poster of me, but I just didn't care because I was like, nobody cares about me. I'm a screw up. I hurt the love of my life. I lost everything. Every job I tried to get, I got let go of within a couple weeks. If I died right now, ain't nobody gonna care. God hates me. What's the point of it and everything? Only to realize in the end that, hey, God does love you. It's just, sometimes in life you hit a road bump, but that doesn't mean that you give up. And that eventually led to, she doesn't remember, but eventually we did see each other and she was like, well, what happened? And I felt embarrassed because it was like, it was my fault that we broke up, honestly. It was literally all my fault, not hers. I just wasn't, I wasn't I wasn't as mature as I should have been back then. And I led to me breaking your heart, which again, I am very sorry for. I'll never do that again. I love you very much. But above all, playing in the devil's sandbox costed me my best friend, and I will be forever thankful to God that he was able to bring us back. But the point is, after that happened, I disappeared. I ended up moving in with someone who I shouldn't have moved in with, and that led me to eventually having some relations with that person, and that person eventually ended up giving me a job, but the job was not worth it. I found out that person had a really bad drug addiction, and there were a lot of illegal things going on at the apartment, and that eventually led to me having to pay the rent at the place for a while by myself, and just a whole debacle. And eventually I had to move back into my mom's as well.
During,
After all that mess.
during that time, I was carrying my son, and I returned back home to my mom's because I left that person because God had called me to come back home. It was the loudest that I heard it, and I was coming across all these videos of when it's time to leave, and God will, tell you when it's time to leave. Just seeing all that stuff flood through my YouTube, and I was like, you know what, it's time to go back home. So I go back home, and then later on I downloaded an app because I'm looking for friends, people who could just relate, anybody in my situation. And I meet my ex-husband, and during this time, for the 2 months, he is just helping me. He is quote unquote being my friend, but later on I realized that that wasn't the case and that there was more to it. A lot of love bombing. Right after I had my son, a lot of love bombing, manipulation, gaslighting, a lot of just forcing his way in. And by then I wouldn't contact him because I'm like, well, I have my son. Like, I don't know if like he would ever take me back because I had them. 2 years later, after that, all the abuse and all everything from my ex-husband, because he was physical, every now and then, Dorian would either check on me or I would get this feeling like in my gut about him. And so one day I had to reach out to him, but in the midst of abuse. And so me reaching out, checking on him turned into, I need somebody there right now because I'm scared. And a lot of people were witnessing, well, not witnessing, but they're basically bearing witness to everything that I was saying. Not only that, I came back, and that was the process in which I started my divorce because I couldn't take the abuse anymore. I couldn't take all the gaslighting and the lies and everything, and just the blame game and stuff like that. And on top of that, the cheating. So I finally put my divorce papers in. But by the time I had my daughter with this person, so Dorian would be there every now and then to try and help me through the emotions. But in the time when I was trying to see God, but going through that, it was hard because I would turn to alcohol. And I mean, I don't know what else to say.
During that time frame, I would come around. I invited her to lowrider shows, basically, you know, car event.
He invited me with him and his awkward friends, and I'm like, okay.
And even now, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, she's not really into that community, but there's one thing that we know about each other is that even if it's not on our interests, we'll still go along to support each other because we love each other. Yeah, we'll try, but we'll still do it. Like whenever she goes to Christian events or when she performs, then yeah, like I'll go.
But yeah, guys, that's basically how we met.
Yes.
We already have a part 2 and part 3 that we are thinking about working on, but that's basically how we met.
Yes, I know. I ain't gonna lie.
A lot more dramatic than how we told you, but
it definitely is. Yes. But unfortunately, yeah, we don't want this video to be an hour and some change long.
That's fine. It was just go up.
That's true.
Yeah.
But the point is that no one is ever perfect. But what's most important is if you both love each other.
Why'd you turn like that?
You both love each other and you love God. Anything is possible.
Anything.
Like literally anything is possible. And sometimes, believe it or not, even if y'all don't sometimes have the same interests at times, trust me, there's always that one or two things there that will make y'all just click. And believe me, I'm forever grateful for this one right here. You see, even when she's like this, I can't get enough of her.
Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you very much.
And we have more to tell at some point.
Yeah, stay tuned for part 2. It is definitely in the works. And yeah, have a blessed night. And we'll see y'all again next time.